What's up guys, it's Danny, and today I want to talk to you about sand.
I don't like sand.
Well, particularly a location that's rumored to be remade in LEGO in 2022, Jabba's Palace. However, it seems more likely that it would be remade as Boba's Palace with the upcoming live-action series, The Book of Boba. So in this video, I'm coming at you with a brand new set concept idea for further exploration of what this palace has to offer. And if you want to see what else I have to offer, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop a like straight into that Rancor pit. Now, Jabba's Palace has been made twice in LEGO, the first time in 2003, alongside Jabba's Message and Jabba's Prize. And then it was remade in 2012. So there was a 9-year gap between remakes, and another 9 years puts us due for a third rendition. But before I start talking about this new one, I want to draw your attention to the characters in this set.
So the only thing that you can tell me is that I will find Jabba at Jabba's Palace.
Well, not Jabba, but actually this guy right here, Bomar. Yes, that spider droid that crawls across the entrance for a few short seconds in this shot right here is in both of these sets. And he has a name. He's also not just a spider droid, but actually he's an enlightened monk who has had his brain removed from his head and placed inside a vat filled with liquid life support. And yes, LEGO has included him in both of these LEGO sets. Weird stuff, I know. This monk actually established Jabba's Palace as a monastery to self-isolate from the world and achieve this enlightenment, at which point the monks would decraniate themselves and be left to ponder the mysteries of the universe in the Great Room of Thought. However, Jabba likely used this as a form of torture, but we won't talk about that. Trivia! How many LEGO Star Wars sets would you guess have been made from the sandy planet of Tatooine? Leave a comment below and we'll find out at the end of this video. So in a third version of this location, knowing that it has a deep history and will probably continue to be pretty relevant in the Star Wars shows to come, here is what I would love to see in this LEGO set. Considering that LEGO first released 2 expansions of the main throne room, the Message and the Jabba's Prize, and in considering the success of both the Harry Potter connectable sets and the modularized Chamber of Secrets, I can't help but want a modularized Star Wars set, or at least one that can be connected with other expansion packs. Also, we just don't have a lot of location-based Star Wars sets, as the majority are ships. So despite this being super optimistic, I think it does make sense out of all the locations so far to warrant at least some level of add-ons. And I mean, consider the possibilities here. It literally has an underground corridor. Could it be any more obvious? You could have the throne room, the gathering room with these beautiful banners, and I guess this right here is actually like hookah, but it looks pretty. And then there's tons of hallways. There's actually 3 towers out front. One's like a watchtower. The other 2 are communications and defense towers. Heck, there's even a spa room here. I mean, it's like muddy and gross for Jabba the Hutt, and of course the underground pit to probably house some new creature, considering the fact that the Rancor is indeed dead. I think it would be rad if Boba had like a baby crate dragon living underground or something, but there's so many beasts and wildlife in Star Wars, it could be anything. We'll save that for another time. For crap's sakes, this is so much like the Chamber of Secrets. There's even a slide when you get down to this pit. But really, just playing through this map in Battlefront 2 gave me so many ideas, and we don't even see the corridor where the sail barge used to be kept, and that has to be here according to these schematics. But speaking of sail barge, there's also the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit set, and we have the Master Builder series, Mos Eisley's Cantina, and don't forget Obi-Wan's hut and Luke's Landspeeder, and just imagine how big your Tatooine LEGO city could grow with this new palace. But seriously, why do we have so many Tatooine sets? I mean, I get it, it was kind of the birthplace of the Chosen One and all, but he like hated this place, and then they made his son live there. Okay, so just how many sets are there from Tatooine? Well, I've actually looked this up for you. Lucky for me, Brickset actually has a tag for Tatooine, and there are 58 matches. Now, there's not exactly 58 sets, as some of them are like foil bags for magazines and such, but let's just go through these really quick, starting with 1999. We have even pod racer sets, so don't forget about Episode 1. All of those are included. They even have a Tusken Raider encounter set here, which I believe is the first ever Anakin minifigure. Then here's Jabba's Message, Prize, and the Palace. More pod racers, Mos Eisley, the first ever sandcrawler, Jabba's sail barge, the really expensive one, Imperial landing craft. This right here is what I'm talking about. Not actually a LEGO set. Then another land speeder, more droids, more Sarlacc pits, another palace. There's even one of these like pod racers with the planet globe thing. And then the Rancor pit, yet another reason why I think they could be modularized, because this actually could sit underneath the 2012 Jabba's Palace, and this just came out the year after. And then they even made another sail barge in that year, And this list just goes on. And then here's a couple like mini builds. I'm not really sure if those would be counted as sets. Here's a foil bag and another one, magazine, I guess is what they would be called. But look at this, so many sets. And then here are the ones that are more recent. It even includes the Star Wars Advent calendars because there's mini builds in here. Tatooine Homestead set there. And then, of course, don't forget the GWP from 2021. I wouldn't count the magazines or the advent calendars, so I would say it's closer to 50 sets. So, what locations are we thinking this year, Lego? Yeah, we got a few in mind. Oh yeah? Which ones? So, we were thinking, we might have to eliminate one. Okay, lots of options, I like it. Tatooine, Hoth, Space, and Tatooine. Am I a joke to you? Am I putting this into perspective yet? Tatooine sets are as numerous in LEGO as clones are in the Clone Wars. And don't even get me started on Snowy Planet sets. But unfortunately, it's too far established in my LEGO Star Wars city to stop now, and with UCS Luke's land speeder on the way, and probably a Luke's homestead before it's said and done, I'd at least like a really cool version of this palace set. And even if it were a Master Builder series set, how cool would that exterior look with the rounded palace and tall towers? That would have to be a main feature, and would really make for an amazing LEGO Star Wars world building experience. But also as a modular play scale build with 2 to 3 smaller sets to add on to the throne room, would really allow you to collect a lot of awesome minifigures like various bounty hunters and alien species and sets that are relatively cheap. And I'd imagine other characters that we may see in the Book of Boba could find their way into these sets too. But I'm not really sure who we would see because it seems that the monks have retaken the palace after Jabba's death and were quite possibly wiped out when Boba returned. Or maybe the whole place is crawling with them, who knows. However, we're much more likely to get a smaller $60 to $70-ish set that would probably include a new Boba and Fennec Shand, and I would hope that the helmet and jetpack would be the corrected color, and that Fennec Shand would come with a new hairpiece. Also, I would hope that we'd get some of that blue spotchka. That stuff is fancy. That being said, it doesn't really seem likely at this point that we'll get to see Endor or Yavin 4 next year. But I mean, Yavin 4 never even saw the light of day, but would still make for a fantastic set. So join me for my next set concept idea and see why. Also, if you guess the correct number of Tatooine sets, then you have just won yourself a free